Hi, me, Bluemaster75, back once more after a long run of procrastination and improper time management. You already saw the title, you've formed your opinions. Wow, he's just another cringe trend-hopping loser. Well, that's mostly true. As far as I'm aware, the 100 days trend faded away. I just want an excuse to play Minecraft again. Anyways, 100 Minecraft days in Skyblock v 2.1, one of the original maps, but on Minecraft 1.19.3. I have yet to find 100 days Skyblock on the original map, so I have come to fix that. Spawning into this world, I'm already on day 15. Who needs those first 14 days anyways? I think what happened was as the map was being made oh so long ago, and anytime the map got updated, the days just kept moving forward. Fresh downloads of the map get this, so I guess you'll just have to remove 14 from the day counter to know where we're really at. With few choices on this island I'll soon call my home, I cut down a tree and save a sapling so I can actually continue to play. Right now, every resource I have is precious. I must save every dirt block, sapling, wood plank, and apple I get. So, I immediately start making more room so I can save any drops I get from leaves. Then I break all the dirt from the top two layers, making sure I get every block and save the grass, as if you lose it, you can never reobtain it. Making a designated tree spot, I plant a sapling so I get more wood in the future. Afterwards, I make a cobblestone generator from the ice and lava the map gives you, taking good care not to mess it up. I use the cobble to replace the dirt I use in construction, as dirt is far more valuable. I did lose one in the lava, which is upsetting, but there's not much I can do about it. Then I just mined cobble for most of the night, until I decide to expand downwards. I go further down than I use because I thought I'd make another layer or something. I never do, and that part just stays down there for the rest of the video. As we all know, sleep is a myth that only the weak believe in, so I worked all night into day 2, making the second island bigger. The reason is to head over to the sand island and collect the resources from there. At one point I expanded my tree area, as the more there are, the better. Also, I performed this really weird parkour to get back to my island. At one point I got the bright idea to start growing pumpkins and melons. Sure, this won't get crowded. My mining continued into day 3 until I felt like I had enough and expanded my base a little. And then I went back to mining. In the middle of the night I remembered that I like seeing, so I fried some logs and made some torches. Should also help my plants grow. Then I built outwards to build a mob farm. See, mobs don't spawn unless there's a place at least 24 blocks away from you, presumably to prevent things like creepers from spawning right on top of people. So, to get mob drops, I need to go way out here and make an enclosed room. Day 4 I was just building the room where the mobs will spawn, and then proceeded to do nothing else but mine cobble, cut trees, and kill mobs for the rest of the day. This is also the day where phantoms start to spawn, as with an obvious lack of sheep I cannot make a bed to sleep in. They're even more dangerous considering that they can fly, and I will fall into the bottomless depths if I fall off my land. Other than that, nothing too exciting happened today. Other than a thunderstorm and some phantom spawns, nothing interesting happened on day 5, just resource collection. So I'll proceed to take this time to fill you in a little more about Skyblock. The map itself, being a challenge map, comes with a list of 50 pre-made challenges that you must beat in order to, in a sense, beat Skyblock. I won't read them all out, but one of my goals is to complete these 50 challenges before the 100 days are over, and I will bring them up whenever one of them gets beaten. On the second side of this notepad document, I will write down any major personal goals I worked towards that weren't included in the original challenge. Challenges I've beaten already up to this point are: build a cobblestone generator, expand the island, craft a furnace, and build a platform 24 blocks away from the island for mobs to spawn. And you could possibly say I've made a melon and pumpkin farm too, but I don't think I want to count these as a farm for either of them. Day 6 starts exactly like day 5, doing nothing but those 3 resource gathering tasks. About a quarter of the way through, however, I start construction on the room for the nether portal, and then place the portal inside of it. Now, some Minecraft players would give up here because they think they need a flint and steel to light a portal, but that's just because they don't know why flint and steels light portals. Any fire inside of an obsidian frame will do, so I'm temporarily disabling my cobblestone generator in order to get access to the nether. And before the day ends, it lights, so I raid the nether for valuables. Thing is, it's also an empty void of sadness, with only 27 glowstone blocks and a chest. What's in the chest? Sugarcane, a birch sapling, and nether-resistant ice. The nether also has 2 mushrooms, one of each color. One was right next to the, special portal, and almost broke it, which would have trapped me in here. I left after discovering that, as I value my ability to play the game. Also, this whole fiasco beat a challenge to build and light a nether portal. Leaving the portal, I realized it was now day 7, and that keeping track of time in the nether will be mildly difficult. After storing my things, I made an infinite water source over top the nether portal, as it was a nice flat area and I didn't want to build out another part of my base solely for water. It was also another challenge completed. I later go back into the portal despite the glaring safety risks, and take the mushroom and the chest with me. Later, while killing mobs, I saw a witch in my little mob house. I immediately captured her with a boat for later use. Then I ended in this corner because I logged off for whatever reason it was at the time. Day 8, I prepared a little box around where the sand would fall so I could finally collect it instead of having it just float there. I also got a carrot from a zombie at one point and decided to use my bones to grow more. I now only have 199 bones. Please send help. Day 9 starts out with me performing the 3 maintenance tasks again. You starting to notice a pattern? While mining cobble, I remembered that I had enough bones for a stack of bone meal, completing that challenge. I also made a bed out of string I got from killing spiders, completing a challenge and allowing me to skip nights and remove the phantom problem. So that's exactly what I did when it hit nighttime. Waking up to day 10, I laugh at my sleep paralysis demons as they burn from the overwhelming power of the sun, and then start work on, as I put in my personal goals section, the good mob farm. This was all mainly mental math and just placing cobblestone, with the occasional supply run back because I underestimate how many resources I'll need. Mob farm construction continued into day 11, where I started building where the mobs can spawn. However, a mistake I wouldn't notice for a while and would also never fix is that the spawn area is 1 block up from the water, so they can just swim back out. Does this majorly affect its function? Probably not, but I know someone's gonna bring it up anyway, so might as well be me. Still working on the mob farm day 12. Not an exciting project, but it's a worthwhile one. And now it's done, marking off the first personal goal I have. Uh-oh, it's day 13. That means it's unlucky or something. Might be lucky depending on where you come from. It was pretty mundane for me, though I did get a gold helmet from this zombie, so I guess today was lucky. Also decided today would be a great day to fix the portal in the nether by just relighting it, and expand my living space while I wait. It takes long enough to where I start to build an area for pigmen to spawn. Spoiler alert, it won't work, as I believe it's too close to 0-0. I exited the nether to it being day 14. When it got like this, I do not know. I do know I put doors in the entrances to the portal room today though. Later in the nether I built a spot semi-far away so mobs could spawn on it, but I already told you that won't happen, so instead I just look like an idiot here. Day 15 I locked the world difficulty to hard since I meant to do that at the start of the video but forgot. I also listed the seed in chat this day, though I don't remember the reason as to why since it's the Skyblock map. Today I had also found my first zombie villager, but a creeper quickly put an end to that dream. Then, after an unfortunate series of events, I got shot in the head and died. This day made me consider if it's in the true 100 Days spirit to play with deaths aloud, but I reason that it's Skyblock. No matter what I do, it's the exact same seed with the exact same blocks. And I didn't want to have to reset every time just to do the same thing over again, but standing a little ways away from the slabs, so deaths are allowed. I'll just try not to die since it's still inconvenient and a loss of resources. This day is also why I never said I survived 100 days in Minecraft Skyblock, just that I played 100 days. I did get a music disc right after dying though, so that's pretty cool. Also, I guess RNG must have felt bad or something because it threw me a bone and gave me a zombie villager, which is very nice. And on this day, I finally count this as completing the challenge collect 64 arrows and craft a bow, since I made a full durability bow. Then I made railings to my bridge since I fear phantoms. Day 16 begins with me using my limited sand supply and making a cactus farm and a sugarcane farm, completing a challenge, along with me closing off my room underneath the base a little more. I mess around in the nether some more, waste resources on the failure of a spawn platform, then go back to the overworld to begin work on the villager pit. Pit construction continues day 17, and is in fact the only thing that happens on this day that is of any significance. The rest is just resource gathering, mostly for the pit. Day 18 I have some troubles moving the zombie villager and get a second one in the process. There wasn't enough room for both of them, however, so I had to expand the room a bit. Other than that, I expanded some more places for safety reasons and then went to bed. Day 19 was another day of sadness where I waste away my time and resources on a spawning platform that will never work. Walking out of the portal to day 20, my brain must have turned on and realized why the platform wasn't working, as today I start work on another platform further away. Though it was mostly made out of wood, in a place known for fire, usually not a smart move, but blazes aren't real, so it works. Construction of Gold Farm Mark II bled into day 21, where I cannibalized the failed platform to build a gold selling station. Unfortunately, no one has applied for a job yet. Day 22, I find some willing volunteers to be part of my trading post, and then collect gold in a humane fashion, allowing me to beat the challenge of crafting 5 gold ingots. Also, 3 personal goals were accomplished here, mainly because they all revolve around this one aspect. Today marks the day I can add another thing to my list of basic tasks. We have mining cobblestone, collecting wood, killing mobs, and now we have farming gold. I want you to guess what I did day 23. Almost the entire day was farming gold, except the end when I made a gold apple. Then I returned to gold farming. I was farming so much that when I returned to the real world to give my eyes more colors to look at than red, it was day 24. I made a second gold apple today and realized I had, over time, crafted 20 torches, completing that challenge. I tried getting a witch I captured to throw weakness at me, but that didn't work on the first go around. The second time, however, she did, allowing me to make my first villager. Day 25, I continued on the villager project, and also remembered to mark off the Obtain Things for Villagers personal goal. Once again, the second attempt at getting weakened was a successful one, allowing me to cure my second villager. This also means, once I get enough for more beds, I no longer need to cure villagers. Instead, I can just breed them. How do I celebrate? I go to bed as the sun rises to cure my insomnia. Day 26, I proved the safety hazard that is my gold farm by dying. Like most workplace accidents, it was caused by user error, but I won't let that stop me from a lawsuit earning me large sums of cash. This does inspire some minor safety upgrades, but otherwise the farm stays the same. Day 27, I opt to make a mini mushroom farm, since mushrooms have a mechanic not many people use, where they grow in low light environments. After that, I got some iron boots due to piglin trading, which aren't too valuable, but I'll take them either way. Day 28, I decide to employ my villagers with jobs that are generally unhelpful but give short-sighted benefits, like another bucket and emeralds from carrots. I captured a zombie villager while at the mob farm, and later built 2 barrels I will forget about for some time. Day 29 actually happens months after Day 28 happened, with me starting and finishing the 100 subscriber special, and then reaching 1000 subscribers before playing this world again. I refamiliarized myself with the land I have, then died trying to get an Enderman captured. Some stuff was lost, but none of it was too important. Though, as I was recollecting myself, I realized I hadn't lit up the roof of the mushroom farm, and heard a very disappointing sound, being the sound of a villager zombifying, so I had to re-cure them. The Enderman was so I could get a grass block, but when I went to go kill it, the grass block phased through the boat into the void, so that's another dirt block lost. Day 30, I try again with the Enderman grass collection, but this time add some more safety measures. The grass didn't grow fast enough though, so I just farmed gold. Day 31, in the midst of trying to fix my current problems, I realized I had 10 ender pearls, so I marked that as done on my list. Today I also fixed my storage a little bit, turning this oak catching platform into my storage area, with more room than 3 chests and the 2 barrels I forgot about. I extended the mob killing room as I needed a place for the zombie villagers to be when I could cure them, then I slept through the night. Most of day 32 was just stalling for nighttime to come so I could have the zombie villagers walk over. I did get another enderman to try for grass again, and once again I got killed by said enderman. This time, however, I did get the grass block, so now I can build a spot for animals. At nighttime, I lured the zombie villagers over, and they cooperated very nicely, going one at a time. Then, I farmed gold. I farmed gold for so long, in fact, that it was the middle of day 33 when I exited the nether. What I do when exiting the nether? Oh, I just subjected myself to the same endless cycle of smelting gold items and then returning to the nether to kill pigmen to get gold over and over again. Doesn't this sound fun? Day 34 is a break from the gold cycle, instead having me repeatedly getting poisoned trying to cure a zombie villager. That's basically all that happened today, except for the one point where I got 50 birch logs. At least I completed a challenge. Day 35, I'm still trying to get the zombie villager cured. I died at one point, I guess that's exciting. Later, the first villager gets cured and the second one gets weakened, allowing me to start the curing process. Days 36 to 43 have no audio, and I don't know why. So I'll try to make this slightly faster. Second villager cured day 36 and was moved over, and the rest was just the basic tasks until I slept. Day 37 is the same thing, but the third villager was cured, so I have all three of them back now. Then I built over to a plains biome so I could get sheep. Slept at the end of the day. Day 38 was gold farming, but I finally got what I wanted from piglin trading. Gravel. Gravel allows me to get more dirt, as using 2 gravel and 2 dirt gives 4 coarse dirt, which can be tilled into dirt. So, using gold for gravel allows me to get a renewable dirt supply, and have more to my disposal than the typical 40 I would have had I not used this. Again, I ended the day by sleeping. Day 39, I built around a chunk in the plains biome I know spawns animals, as I duplicated the world to test things in creative mode a while ago. I slept the night away again. After making the path to the plains chunk a bit bigger day 40, I went and farmed some gold. This continued into day 41, where I later used the dirt I had gathered to start filling in the plains chunk. I only had a fourth of it, but it's a start. I also made trapdoors, as when placed a certain way, no mobs jump over them. This also completes the challenge for making 10 trapdoors. I want you to guess what I did day 42. Just take a wild guess. Did you say farming gold? 'Cause you're correct. Day 43, I fixed the mushroom farm so mobs won't spawn inside them anymore, then made a fourth bed for the villagers. Day 44 is the return of audio, and when I start to jot down what I did on these days on a notes sheet. I started the day by mining cobble since I forgot what I was doing yesterday, then I built a house, completing that challenge. House construction continued day 45, as I did something I never do and tried to make something look nice. I captured a zombie day 46 that I was going to use for an iron farm, but later decided he wasn't the one. And then halfway through the day I just stopped moving. I was either thinking really hard or went AFK and forgot to pause the game. Day 47, I went to work on the house. One thing I will point out is that the cobblestone stairs around my house add up to over 20, completing that challenge. I spent the night day 48 finishing my house by putting a roof on it. It's almost taken half of the days, but I finally have a house. Don't mind the lack of windows. Day 49 has me making the stone I have into stone bricks. I don't know who stone brick is, but I guess the map maker knows them. The entirety of day 50 was just farming gold. Day 51 marks the second half of this world, and what did I do? I converted all my gravel into dirt and farmed more gold. Maybe filling in a chunk with dirt wasn't the best of plans. Was able to see the sun rise day 52, which is nice when you've stared at a red abyss or a furnace for 2 days straight. Today I traded with the farmer to level him up, and now he buys pumpkins, allowing me to use the ones I've saved for emeralds. At night, I decided to grow a big version of both mushrooms, since growing a red one is a challenge, and it'd just feel incomplete without the brown one. Day 53, I finished my overworld vacation and went back to farming gold. I came out of the nether day 54 because I had challenges to beat. On this day, I completed the challenges to craft 10 stone pressure plates, craft 10 stone buttons, and craft 30 stone slabs. I also turned all the gravel I got into dirt, and then expanded the animal pen a bit more. I went and made 10 jack-o'-lanterns to complete that challenge, and later discovered a sheep head spawn, which makes me very happy. Sure, it may only be one sheep, but that gives me much easier access to wool, and also technically completes the one personal goal I have of getting an easy bed supply. Walking around thinking about my next goal of day 56, I noticed an iron golem spawned, which was unexpected. Anyways, I have 4 iron ingots now. I made 10 bookshelves so I could complete that challenge. Also on day 56, I made a grindstone and got a weaponsmith. He sells cheap iron axes and pretty good iron swords. This pleases me greatly. I then went to the nether to test out my new sword on the locals. Works well. Day 57, I built a soul sand path right next to the normal path to the plains chunk biome. I figured that since I have soul speed on my boots due to piglin trading, I might as well put that to good use. So I build the path and later realize I have to light it up. When I go to do that, however... Ouch. Day 58 was me just repairing the stuff that got blown up, lighting up where the creeper spawned, lighting up the bridge, recollecting my stuff, and assessing what I lost. Overall, not that much, but it's still upsetting. Traded with the weaponsmith and got a really good diamond axe, and then just farmed gold. Trading with the weaponsmith day 59, and I found out that the sword trade is very depressing. At least as looting, though. Started work on the shrew iron farm at night by getting a zombie that can pick up items, making it so it doesn't despawn. Day 60 I made a toolsmith, then mined a lot of cobblestone for the iron farm. Me, doing what I do best, decided to deviate from this plan to go kill an iron golem, and paid the price for it. I made the cactus green die for the challenge though, so that's done. I learned from my mistake day 61 and stayed doing what I should be doing for the designated goal. I mined cobblestone and made a path to the iron farm. A golem spawned on the path at one point, and I had to block it from killing the zombie I had saved. Then I built the structure for the villagers to be in. I actually continued building this structure well into day 62. Included in the iron farm is obviously the mechanism for killing iron golems. In this case, it's lava. The issue is that I only have one lava source, so I must deactivate my cobblestone generator while I make this. Day 62 is also when my first volunteer gets moved over to the iron farm. Working on the iron farm day 63, got another willing volunteer to work for me in the iron facility. While waiting for baby villagers to grow, I made it so the lava is multi-purpose, allowing me to generate cobblestone again. A villager grew up day 64, which means they got to become a factory worker making iron. This also means I can place the zombie into the farm, which finishes the farm and allows it to start producing. This means I now have a functional and infinite supply of iron, allowing things to really ramp up here. Also leveled up the toolsmith today, giving me iron pickaxes. Day 65 was a day of selling iron and leveling up villagers, now allowing me to have diamond tools with enchantments and soon giving me enchanted diamond armor. I wandered around day 66 while thinking about what I should do next, and then accidentally broke the iron farm. I fixed it, but it was definitely not my brightest moment. I returned from gold farming day 67 to expand the grass plot, hoping for more sheep to spawn. I then proceed to complete a lot of the remaining challenges, including craft 20 fence gates, craft 20 fences, craft 10 levers, craft 20 ladders, and make 10 bread. Day 68 I started with buying a diamond chest plate, then I lit up the new section of the grass plot, eradicated the undesirables, covered myself legally, and then made a small lake. I then fished in that lake, and caught 10 cod before day 69 came around. Day 69 I get a full set of diamond armor from my armor smith. Along with all of the other diamond stuff, I'd say this completes my personal goal of getting good equipment. Also, I colored a lot of the wool, completing the challenges of getting 10 wool blocks of the colors of green, lime, red, and pink. On day 70, I was thinking for a bit, and then realized one of the challenges is to craft a snow golem. I don't want to leave that as the final challenge since weather is pure RNG that I can't try to influence, so I started work on that now. The biome I'm in snows at high altitudes, so I made a platform really high up to be able to get snow layers. Then, as I was fencing it off later in the night for fun, it started snowing. I couldn't have planned this if I tried, so I gathered snow and made a snow golem. When going to check off the challenge day 71, I realized I needed to craft 10 snow golems, so I made a separate spot for the 9 others. Then I farmed XP at the gold farm, because I was able to turn multiple swords from the weaponsmith into one sword with a looting 3. Day 72 is when I actually combine my swords. Then I bridged out to a river for ink sacks as I needed black dye for a couple challenges. Also, I cooked 10 cod, which I'm counting as the fish the challenge Cook 10 Fish asks for. After getting the ink sacks from the river waterfall, I slept the phantoms away. On day 73, I decided to stop procrastinating on something I meant to do for a while, and that's to build to a nether fortress. I had put up a YouTube poll months ago asking if that was allowed, and the majority of voters said yes, so I figured I can go to the fortress on the mainland and just get blaze rods, nothing more. The normal Skyblock map has an odd interaction where no fortress-bound boxes exist, meaning you can't just find an area where you to get blazes and wither skeletons. So I started building a bridge to the land today. The bridge was so long, in fact, that it is now day 74, where I can see the mainland. Blazes started firing at me and I realized that I was on a flammable block, so I left. I got fire resistance potions and some non-flammable blocks to continue building with, and set foot onto the mainland. I only killed a couple blazes and then left with their rods, taking nothing else with me and acting as if the rest of the land was bedrock. Mission has been accomplished. Also, this completes a personal challenge. Day 75, I used one of the blaze rods to make a brewing stand for a cleric. This allows me to sell rotten flesh, buy lapis, glowstone, and redstone. Other than that, I got more ink for the rest of the dye I needed, made 10 gray wool for the challenge, and went to bed. Day 76, I mainly just prepared to finish the final challenges Skyblock had left. I needed 3 separate farms and some more mushrooms, so I built the outlines of the wheat farm, pumpkin farm, and melon farm. Today was also when I added to the personal goal list the challenge of getting 10 of every wool color, which made me spend the rest of my time creating dyes. Dye making continued into day 77, where I then bought Bane of Arthropods 1 from a librarian just to level him up. The reason for this is that librarians sell glass, and I don't want to have to use my sand if I don't have to, since I cannot renew that. Return to sell flesh and melons, allowing me to level up the librarian to the point where he sells me 4 glass. Day 78, I got enough glass from the librarian to make 16 glass panes, checking off that challenge from the list. Afterwards, I finished my house after all this time, filling in the windows with glass. This inspired me to spruce up the house a little too, making my bed blue and placing in such things like a chest, and an ender chest. Today was also the day I finished the plains chunk, with me adding the torches just before it became day 79. Day 79, I was browsing the local library and I noticed I could get really cheap Sweeping Edge books. So I bought them, fused them together with the power of friendship, and got Sweeping Edge 3 on my sword. Then, completing the first farm challenge of the 3, I made a wheat farm. Then I made the yellow wool. Day 80 I woke up and immediately decided to build the walls higher on the other 2 farm frames. Then I got impatient waiting for the mushroom farm to grow mushrooms and instead just made more big ones. As it turns out, that's a much better method, as I got far more mushrooms doing that. Then I made 10 mushroom stews to complete one of the challenges. Emerging from the nether day 81, I make some dirt and then build my pumpkin farm, with that being an especially good investment due to my ability to sell pumpkins for emeralds. While running to go shear my sheep for more wool, I notice I have 2 more, so I can finally breed them and get a whole sheep farm. Oh, and also at one point I made light gray wool, so check that one off the list. Day 82, I spent almost all of the daylight hours trying to get a librarian who sells mending. Then I made the final color of wool block I needed, black. Only 2 more challenges to go and then I'll have beaten Skyblock. Day 83 is started by the construction of the melon farm, checking off one of the 2 final challenges needed. All that was left was to make 20 paintings, which are really easy to make. Thus, on day 83, I completed every challenge Skyblock has to offer. Now all that's left is the personal goals. Feeling well rested day 84, I expanded my sugarcane farm, though I believe I never touched it after this. Afterwards, I decided to get rid of my pair of iron boots, as I can put soul speed on my diamond ones instead. Then I put mending on them, so that way they won't break randomly one day when I'm trying to walk. To give myself something to work for in the next 15 days, I decided that, along with a third goal I come up with later, that I will attempt to rebuild the starting island somewhere, and that I will get 10 of every wool color. I must have started that today, as my notes say that I made several colors of wall. Day 85 was just another gold farming day, trying to grind out enough for the starter island goal. I did, however, make a hopper now, so I can get the most efficient use out of my fuel when I smelt down golden swords. Day 86 is the rise of the fake 100th day, due to the whole 14 days added on thing. I made all the remaining wool colors today except brown, as I forgot that was a thing and I only have one way to get it, being trading. Day 87 I max out the one shepherd I have. He does not sell me brown wool, unfortunately. Afterwards I just farmed gold, since I need a lot of dirt for the starting island project. Day 88 was yet another day where I farmed a lot of gold. At one point I did combine my bow with another I had in my chest, so it has flame and punch now. Also, I got an enderman and a boat for grass block, since the starting island has grass. Day 89, in an attempt to prevent the grass block from falling into the void like it did on day 29, I built a little catch underneath the enderman. It was unsuccessful, and I lost the grass block. So, that night I got another enderman to try again whenever I got the grass to grow out. Also got another shepherd who didn't sell brown wool. Day 90 starts off with me watching the gang wars between snow golems and zombies, both of which are unable to actually do anything to each other due to legal concerns. Afterwards, an independent contractor is fired for trying to steal my property to where it is properly returned to me. Finally able to start the Starter Island project, I built out from the Soul Sand Bridge and began work on it. There's not much good footage here since a lot of the time was spent rebuilding the tree, where I literally just watched day 1 trying to get the angles from it to build the tree exactly like how it was. Waking up to day 91, I realize we're in the final 10 days. I decided I want to put an on-off switch into the mob farm since I rarely use it anymore and I think it'd be neat. I start by gathering redstone from a cleric and a couple glowstone blocks to make redstone lanterns. as the off switch will literally just make it bright so monsters can't spawn. I use excess red wool as the block since it feels natural to have red wool be the block for redstone. I mostly finished it today, but I need more redstone, so I have to sleep to reset the cleric's trades. Unfortunately, there is no day 92. There isn't any footage until day 96, actually. As it turns out, when recording, a supposed lack of disk space made the file stop short right as I woke up for day 92, even though I had plenty of room. The only thing I have is my notes, so I'll just read them while they're on screen and move on to day 96. Day 92, finished the on-off switch. Made a room for more villagers to go for wool purposes. Day 93, getting food for baby villagers to spawn, then just upkeeping the rest of the place. In the night, I noticed I had been losing iron profits this whole time. So much iron probably despawned. Day 94. Another day of trying to get brown wool. Could have built, like, a neat statue of me, but no. Gotta make a personal goal of all wool and forget brown exists. In the night, I get an idea. As probably the final build, I'm building a throne from nether blocks. Not in the notes, but that was the third final personal goal I had mentioned a little while ago. Day 95. Start of day, I'm expanding the floor of my base for the throne area. I also check my first shepherd, much to my sadness. I build the base of my throne with crying obsidian that has magma block corners. It is ringed with blackstone stairs. The back has 2 tall pillars with blue fire, as I don't have any netherrack and I'm sure you can guess by the name. The back is going to be obsidian with a gold block, and as I figure out how to make that, day 96 starts. Alright, day 96. Back to having a recording to watch. This is what I have so far in the throne I mentioned. I search more shepherds trying to find brown wool, and yet none of them have it. While I wait for more villagers for more attempts at brown wool, I work on the throne. I make the pillars 1 block higher and then go lay off some employees. Unfortunately, the wool district then decided to raise their prices in protest of these layoffs, so I had to fire them all, ensuring the news doesn't spread. I let the farmer live since I thought I may need his bread trade, but I didn't, so he's just stuck down there now. Day 97, I emerge from an empty room with all those who knew of my crimes mysteriously dying of heart attacks and somehow disappearing. I spent most of day 97 trying to fix the lack of villagers since I need brown wool, so I grew a bunch of wheat hoping to get more villagers again, which works. In order to spend time so the baby villagers grow, I spent the night working on the throne, with the end result of the night looking something like this come day 98. Upon realizing it was day 98, I checked on the villagers to see if they had grown, and then went back to throne building. I ended with this design, and I think I'm going to call it finished. Could it be better? Yes, definitely, but it's what I'll settle with. I think it looks cool enough. Added soul lanterns as well since I was trying to fill in the time. Afterwards got another farmer who wasn't protesting to sell me bread at extremely cheap prices, allowing me to increase the villager population again. Then, during the night, that shepherd who didn't have brown wool mysteriously vanished from the room. I have no idea what happened. Waking up day 99, I try to see if I like the look of hanging soul lanterns outside my house. I don't think it works well, so I scrap the idea. I ran up the wiring for the on-off switch on the mob farm since I wanted to show it after the footage just didn't record. Eventually, when I went to check on the shepherd room, I saw 2 of them had grown up, so I went to try my luck once more. The first one didn't have brown wool, but when the second shepherd leveled up, I saw my prize. I immediately bought it and put it in the barrel, allowing me to check off my final personal goal in this world. And with this beautiful array of colored wool finish, I go to sleep. Day 100. I made it. I mean, it's not like I couldn't. I didn't have this world set to hardcore. I spent the day doing a couple things, like adding last finishing touches on certain things, naming my tools, getting a nice tour of the place, and organizing my valuables. Yeah, see that sack of dirt? In Skyblock, that is the wealthiest thing you could have. While I cycle through whatever images I could get from my spastic touring, I would like to thank anyone watching to this point. This video is the video that marks me doing 1 year of daily uploads, which is somewhat crazy to think about. I was told to do the whole daily upload thing as a joke, and I can't really stop now, can I? Don't worry, the 1K special will still come out. I just decided to postpone that since this was sooner than I had thought. Though, this will also make some of the things in the 1K special not make sense anymore, but that doesn't matter. Thank you for watching, and farewell.